AM chat, and of course, Barrister Habib White, a legal practitioner, a public affairs analyst, and of course, a political commentator is here with us. Thank you very much, Barrister Habib. We thank you for your contributions during the paper review. Now, leadership and youth involvement in governance. Today, one major issue, underlining issue. We're seeing the Atiku issue, we're seeing, of course, the president, the APC issue of who is going to be the next president. And the general impression at the point is that we tend to have recurring names, personalities in the Nigerian political landscape. Recently, former President Olusegun Obasanjo said the youths must get their acts together if they must be able to come to the center and take over governance from where the old brigades have stopped. But today, how ready are the youths to take over the mantle of leadership? And one major challenge, but some people still believe that our problem is not leadership, our problem is followership. For which of the divide do you belong? Barrister Habib White is here with us to discuss this issue. Of course, you're very young, so you're a youth. But let's look at it this way. Would you attribute it? Would it be right to attribute it to the fact that the leaders, the elderly leaders we have, a northern politician have argued that, look, the youths of these, now, not really, they're not polished enough, they're not experienced enough to take over such sensitive positions, presidency and all that. That they should still, they have to learn. But are the youths actually learning? Are the youths ready?
No. I would know to say the problem we have in this country is about leadership or followership. The problem we have in this country is about Nigerians. By Nigerians are the followers. Right now, if we're saying the youths, are they ready? The youths are always ready at any time. The youths are the ones that will bring the president, the governor, a senator, a member of the House of Representatives to power through their votes. The president cannot single-handedly bring himself to power. He needs Nigerians. And bulk of Nigerians that will do that are the youths. It means that the youths have always been in the process of ensuring a mandate is being achieved by popular person.
So can we say that we should relegate the youths to being kingmakers?
Mere voters. No. This is what we're not talking about. If you want this country to develop properly, you should have a successive leadership template that coming generation can fall on. Now in this country, we don't have that. We only have few political leading father figures that can say that we have helped a particular youth to have attained power at a particular stage. Now, it is now through the use of force. Like our former president has advised the youth constituency, you have to do whatever it takes to wrestle power from we, the elderly ones. It means that it is now time for the youth to come out and say, I want to vie for a position. I have what it takes to vie for a position. And it is now time for the youth to support the youth. Because if the youth do not support the youth, that youth cannot get there. If the youth will leave another youth for an elderly, for an older politician, it means that this issue of the not too young to run campaign that we are doing, we are not going to achieve it.
Not too young.
So we are not going to achieve it.
Yes.
So we need to support ourselves. Mm-hmm. Somebody was telling me we don't have money, we don't do that. I said yes, fine. We don't have money. Do our elderly ones, do they have the money? No. Why is it that whenever we have a governorship aspirant, we have this luncheoners to donating money from his friend and associates? It shows that that is where their mouth lies. Wherever your money lies, your mouth lies here. you want to protect that place with all your keen interest. But right now, if a youth will support a youth through donation, through moral advice, through support, through campaign in all aspects, in all spheres, and that youth will get to leadership. So the youth are still the problem of the youth. We are the one betraying our own generation.
The youths are
the problem of the youth.
Thank you very much. Of course, I took also something from you there, that we need to have successive leadership template in Nigeria. We have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yeah, my name is Latif.
Okay. All okay. Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to say that we don't want to do that thing where somebody that is 50 years, they govern this country. Because they love like they take about, they love these powerful people that I think you are not mature, you people that are not mature for you to govern a country like Nigeria. And it's progressive. So I want you to go very quick, tackle corruption, going into massive infrastructure development. You can see this is the battle, a lot of schools are going on way on, and here this is using the government money that has been started to pay. And I can't say you will have this loyalty. The way the present government, President Buhari, is doing. For me, I would say you can come maybe after 4 years, if you can give this government, President Buhari, for develop the kind of country that was easy for you to implement.
Okay.
So I will forget, I will be with you if I need the federal government can do another 4 years to develop an economy that will be possible for a youth to work on. Because the economy has been subsidized for the past years. I think the government are trying to put a lot of things on place. When I look at the Babylon Power Project, the 1970s, and the project is there, you still have to look at the Gero Power Project. A lot of power projects is going on. A lot of power projects are going on. And I believe this government has what it takes to lead Nigeria to a place where you can take over. And the youth also need to level of capacity development.
Okay.
There's a lot of opportunities in leadership, capacity development. So we need to wait for capacity development and the organization of our mindset, our mind we want to be. You are not one leadership, but you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your comment there, Barrister Baby. You talked about the fact that looking at the enormity of governance, that the youths might not have the guts or the camaraderie to be able to handle the issues on ground, and so it will be better for the old brigade to still be there, or, you understand, or the government party should be there for another 4 years, because the youths they don't have the capacity to handle leadership.
I've said this before. This is where we need successive leadership templates in this country. Now, if you are saying the elderly ones should be there, of the old and the younger generation, that is the only way. Whatever they are doing right now will stand the test of time over forever, for years to come, because we are involved in that process of making a new Nigeria, not a Nigeria that has been made alone by the older ones. Now involve some youth from 2 or 3 or 4 good heads that could stand as representatives of that constituency, that can say, okay, these persons are responsible to us, these are people that will listen to us, can give them ideas and innovations. Political parties, governance, they are being run on ideas, innovations. Go and look at those that are the masterminders, those that are the ones that will drive the policy plan and everything. They are the youths, but they need to be involved in the production stage.
But now, Barrister Babe, looking at the decision-making levels in government, the National Assembly. If you go to the National Assembly now, you find ex-governors who are back in the Senate, ex-governors who are in the House of Reps. You have former ministers who are still there, the leadership of the Senate, the presidency. Over the years, you look at of course, when Alhaji Shagari came in, we looked at Buhari, Obasanjo. If you just look at the history of the country, we've not had a young, vibrant president like Obama. Of course, when Gowon that was the military, was very young when he came into power. But from what we're looking at, in another 10 years, we don't see any youth becoming the president. Doesn't that bother you?
It is very worrisome, because that's reality. I will not lie. We're not even seeing that particular youth that could become or that can become the president of Nigeria right now. Because even our youth are not even participating in the politics itself.
Yeah, but is it not that
it is not most of our youth of today?
Is it that they don't have
what we do right now is about social media politics? You cannot win vote on social media. How many of us are working in our own community, in our own environment? Most of us, what are we doing in our own constituency itself, in our own direct where we stay? How many times have we influenced policies to ensure we have a better street, a better environment? That's where it starts from. It is not the idea about politics in Nigeria is this. Everybody thinks it is money oriented. Fine, you need money to push some things, yes, but you still need that individual will and capacity. From what last one said, capacity to say or for us to believe that you can do a particular thing. Look at our youth. This part of governance that interests us most is the local government. Okay. This, you will agree with me, that should be run by youths, starting from the chairman, the councillors, the secretaries, and everything. This should be by the youths. How many of the youths are even willing?
So there could be a kind of.
How many of the youths are even willing to participate in local government activities? And same youth to be complaining everywhere that no, our chairman is above 50, our council is about 40, is about 70. When you are not coming out, other persons will come out. They will do it. We all want the juicy part of politics. We all want the juicy part of governance. We want to ride on convoys. We want to say A and that A will be A. No, it's one sacrifice. You have to learn. There should be room for mentoring.
What you're saying is that there's a major challenge. The youths are not ready.
We're not ready. We're not ready. We're only good at lip servicing on social media. You cannot win vote on social media. Yes, you can create a revolution for a change on social media, but that revolution must be changed back to reality. And I'm going to give you one example that has happened in recent times. Okay. Nigerian youth were clamoring for involvement in governance. We want a law that will shift our burden of irrelevancy to a point of relevance. Fine. It all started from the social media pages, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagram, and everywhere. Everyone was saying, we want youth. Now, if you look at the number of youths that came on the street of Lagos, on the street of Ogun State, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Kano, that made a peaceful protest and march to various assemblies, to the State House Assembly and to the National Assembly. Can you compare the numbers of those that march to those that talk? Ground in reality now, and it has come to place. Now it shows that majority of us should come out and make this work a reality. It is not about you're on Twitter, you're doing. No, it's not about that. You don't win votes on social media. You don't influence government policies.
Of course. Okay, we have a caller on the line. All right. Hello. Yeah. Good morning. Can you speak louder? Yeah. Can you speak louder? So welcome back. We're sorry for that slight mix-up. The show is still on. It's AM Chat, and of course, Barrister Habib White, a political analyst and public affairs commentator, is here with us, and we're looking at leadership and youth involvement in governance. We want to thank the last caller. Though we listened to you carefully when we were off some few seconds ago, and you were talking about the current age of the leaders we have in Nigeria. For you, they need to take a bow and allow the youths to, Barrister, some time ago, the former President Ibrahim Babangida said the major problem of Nigeria are the elites. You understand? Classified, they said the elites are the major problem. And even some of the so-called leaders have said that the youths themselves are not ready. So, does it have to do with the educational background? Somebody was suggesting that if you look at our educational curriculum, we need to start injecting leadership courses into the educational, so that because it must start from the home, into the educational institutions and all that. Do you think it's a revolution that can happen where from the educational sector you can start building those who can take over?
Very well.
In government?
Yes, that's a very good suggestion. It's a very laudable one. If we have leadership trainings, leadership courses, history that have been inculcated into our curriculum, to speak a lot of volume and to go a long way to show or to train the mind of an Nigerian for leadership positions. And on the comment of the elites or the followers, Nigerians as a problem of Nigeria, we need to restructure our own mindsets. We need to ensure that whatever we do will be for the harmonious living and prosperity of this nation. If the youth won't take over power, it is very simple. Support a youth that has shown interest. And if that youth has failed you, that same way that you supported him, withdraw your support from such a person. And the person will know he or she has done the wrong thing. But where we have so many elected elites, it should show that our country should progress.
Of course, the Arewa youths recently said, we won't support any candidate above 50 years. Looking at that age tag, 50 years. I want to ask you, Barrister, is it a function of greed or a function of extermination by the old brigades in government not wanting to allow the youths to take over power?
So I would say it is both greed and extermination. Nigeria is the only country that I've seen in the world, maybe some part of the world too, that have been doing that. That whenever you get to power, you want to make it a life business. In a theater with the past president of Nigeria, Olusegun Obasanjo, Baba was saying that if you people have canvassed that there should be an age for you to go into political offices, why have these two guys canvassed that there should be an age to stop political practices? If you can say at 25, 35, you can contest down. So we should put a limit. There should be a law that should put a limit that will say at 65 or 60, retire from politics. I think we need to look in that part of the station.
Because you've raised a very fundamental issue. We have the caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello? Yeah, go ahead. Good morning. Hello, we can hear you. Go ahead. Hello? Okay, go ahead with your comment. Let's hear you. What's your comment? Okay, while we wait for... Okay, go ahead. We can hear you now. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's quite unfortunate that the youth are craving for the mantle of leadership
Yeah.
have not done what has been expected of them.
Okay.
Why? Because you have you as a governor, members of the National Assembly, what changes have been brought to show that yes, the youth are ready for the mantle of leadership. You have governors who are missing up, who are youth, who have not done what is expected of them.
Okay.
Had even if them youth or the governors or if senators, members of the National Assembly have done what is expected of them, they know how even the elderly, the old cargos, if I may use that word, will not pinpoint and say so person have done or have performed well in terms of mantle of leadership. Let's give him a try in terms of presidency. We saw what happened in France about 3-4 months ago when Emmanuel Macron, a 39 years old man, was elected as the president of France.
Of France, yeah.
Quite unfortunate, and I don't think youth of nowadays are right for the mantle of leadership.
Okay. Thank you very much. The youths are not right, but it's it's an indictment on you, on the youths. If really the youths are not ready, but again, looking at it from another perspective, would it be proper to say that because there is high level of illiteracy in the Nigerian society, could it be literacy in quote? You could have all the degrees, but you're still an illiterate.
Very well.
You understand? So, does it has to do with the mindset of the youth?
I keep saying our mindset is a problem. Because even as we are saying youth are not involved in governance, I would say to all extents that youths have been involved in governance from the beginning.
But they played
Let me take it from this place, from this angle. Look at our various universities. We have student union bodies. We even have associations.
You see how
We have developmental levels where you participate in politics, developmental level. Before now, those associations, those union bodies are always a stepping stone for mainstream politics in Nigeria. We used to have it before, but what is happening right now? Even on the right level, you're having corruption, of finances, money that is meant for the whole union, the president and the vice president will siphon it. This is where the problem is from. And now, at the mainstream politics, we have some youth as special advisors, as political advisors, as personal assistants. What have those youths, their PAS, what have they brought to their masters, and what have they brought back to the youth constituency?
Barrister Bib, I'm tempted to ask this question because it has been raised in a certain fora that there is a deliberate, I don't know if the callers out there will want to agree, that there seems to be a very systematic, strategic, deliberate attempt by the old politicians to just remain in power. Not necessarily trying to initiate or put in place institutions, structures that will see a gradual takeover of government by the youths. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is there more like a political coup against the youths by the old brigade?
That is very, very
So
correct.
how can you break that jinx?
Now, the only way we can break that jinx is for us to
Because
take
if
more.
you don't have money, you can't get it done.
Now,
Yes.
I keep telling people, our old cargos politicians, quote unquote,
Yeah.
these people, they are very brilliant, they are very intelligent, they read, they are sophisticated in their ideas and innovations. This is what is lacking in us. Youths of today, we don't even want to know what has been going on in our country, to what has brought us to this extent. If you have somebody that is thinking above you, and you are still thinking aback, how would you match up with that person?
But now I want to ask, when it's time for electioneering campaign, when it's time for mobilization, if you look at the campaign grounds, 95% of the crowd are the youths.
So I'll cut short on that.
Yeah.
95% to 100% are the youth.
Are the
Because
youth.
the elderly women that you are seeing there, it is the youth that will bring them to that place.
That mobilizes
It is youth
them.
that go and tell them that, Mama, you have to come out today. Mama, Papa, this person, you have to. It is the youth. So it is the youth that is controlling the whole electioneering processes we have in this country. And I keep saying
why are
it.
they not at the center? Why are they not?
That is it. The moment a youth will not support a youth, no youth will be there. We only settle for whether a governor will appoint as his SA or his PA. That's now individual motives.
The last caller there said that even the youths that have come into power, they did not.
We have a young governor in Nigeria right now, in Kogi State, and we don't know what is happening in that state right now. Is that one problem today or another problem tomorrow?
Okay, we have a caller. Good morning. Yes, go ahead, sir. We can hear you. Go ahead. Hello, we can hear you. Hello, go ahead. You're welcome. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, I want to say something.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, I think we have issues with. You can call us. Of course, the number 080-7454-8324. We just have about 6 more minutes to wrap up the broadcast. I'm sure we'll have another caller. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, while we wait for the call, we're still here with Barrister Habib White on the issue. Now, this calls for, of course, when the Arewa youth said they would not vote for anybody above 50, you begin to wonder, there seem to be some kind of, political calculations going on for 2019. Now, we're talking about governance, we're talking about leadership and involvement of the youth in governance. If we look, some people have argued that it is until when this country is restructured, that's the argument by some political technocrats, it is when this country is restructured, possibly going to the regionalism or true federalism, that is when the youths might be chanced to take over. Is that correct?
That's not correct.
So even if you decide to say, okay, southern region, southeast region and all that, you still believe that...
That's not correct at all. To all extents, it's not correct.
Why do you say so?
Because at that point itself, it would be the ego, it would be a conflict of ego and personality that will still have the power. The same person that have broken away from the federalism to the federation units now will still want to be the same person that between the units. It's not going to be more bloody.
No, but the issue is that because the argument that the center is too powerful and everybody wants to be at the center, but once you break it, you break it into compartments, there will be room for more youth's involvement.
No, this is what we are saying. If you are saying the center is powerful right now, we are saying everything on the exclusive list is made by the presidency. Now, we want that power to be divested to federating units, if we will have it. Now, that same power that we give to the center, they're now bringing that solely to federating units. Is it that time that the youths will now be more involved in governance? No. The answer is just no. The main problem here is involved, either be a fusion of the old and either in governance proper. What I mean is this: if the presidency consists of the president, the vice president, chief of staff, and the ministers, if it is 3 or 4 slots, let's go directly to the Nigerian youth constituency. Okay. That's what I mean by infusion of the elderly ones and the younger ones. In our states, how many youths are made to be commissioners? What about the age range of commissioners we have in all the states in Nigeria? But if you can involve 3 or 2, you're already creating a plan, a template for system planning that will help the country at large. I want all the parties. I educate everybody. I will say, okay, the youth will support you, the people will support you. No. Let there be a rule or a law in your party law that will say, at every electionary period, our party will sponsor 2 or 3 youths at upper political spaces. Like, okay, House of Assembly will give 2 youths, no primaries for you. You go to the main election, the party will support you. that time the youth will know they are much involved. Because one, youth are saying they don't have money. Yes, we all know that. But if a party can sponsor youths for the general election and you get power, things are going to be all right.
All right, we have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Go ahead. Hello, we can hear you. Hello. Okay, while we wait for the call, there is this argument again that if you look at the political terrain, possibly to also give the youths the chance to make an inroad is for the youths to form a political party.
Very well.
But the argument is that in a situation where a youth or youths form a political party, they do not have the machinery, they do not have the structures to be able to, make an inroad. But somebody was talking about the factor of willpower. Our youths, do you believe that the youths don't have the willpower?
You have it.
Like the Martin Luther and
You have that willpower. You have that willpower.
no, but we're not seeing that energy. Everybody still hides under the godfatherism.
That is it. Right now in this country, we have a youth party right now. I know, Young Democratic Party.
Young
Democratic Party. Yeah, very serious under INEC, and everything. But the point, that party was faced with leadership tussle. That the court had to decide who is the national president, who is this, who is this, who is that. That's the problem I'm telling you about. If we don't come together, if we don't harness all efforts, all potentials to a point, we would remain as underdogs. No matter how vibrant, no matter how good we might tend to portray ourselves. This is just very simple. If it is to be, it is upon the Nigerian youths. The willpower that have made us brought our president to power, our government to power, that willpower should now be transformed or changed to bringing ourselves into power.
But we've also seen a situation where the old brigades, impose candidates when it is time for election.
That will never stop in Nigeria. It will never stop. But now, if they impose young ones, I'll be happy about it. You don't impose an elderly one over everybody. Impose the young ones.
The argument is that some of the impositions, these are people who were not part of the party, in the growing of the party. They were just imported from somewhere, and they say, okay, look. And the argument is that the old brigades feel that these candidates they impose on the party will do their own bidding. And so, doesn't it look like there is no hope for the youth?
That's what I'm saying. Impose the young ones. If you're saying a young man is not part of the party and everything, I know you can do this thing better. Impose him. At least we'll be having representation, and that person can give back to his constituency because.
But he has to do the bid of the person who brought him to power.
When he gets to power, a lot of things changes. We have in this country several instances where we have political godfathers that have said, be the governor. And when the governors got to power, things changed because they know what it takes to be in power. And they could not even tell them to do this. They will tell you, I'm the governor, I'm still governor right now. It has to go my own way. So things could change. It could change for better for us.
Thank you very much. Well, we just hope the youths will take, I think it's a question of the youths taking their destiny.
Their own hands.
Yeah. So what's your final word to the Nigerian youths?
To the Nigerian youths and to everybody at home. If it is to be, it is up to us. That's all.
Thank you very much, Barrister Habib White. Thank you for coming on the show. Well, that's it we can take this morning. We've been looking at leadership and youth involvement in governance. We're sorry we couldn't take some calls, but I think it's been the message has been sent. He has suggested here that there has to be a successive leadership template for Nigerians, and it is up to the youths to put their acts together. Despite the fact that there seemed to be a grand design by the old brigades not to give the youths the chance to govern, but again, it's all about putting their acts together to make sure that they get at the top. Just like what former President Olusegun Obasanjo said. Okay, so leadership is key for our country, and we just hope that we'll be able to find a way out of it. From all of us here, thanks for watching. My name is Benjamin Peters. My colleague will be joining me here on Wednesday, Mary O2, for another interesting broadcast. Good morning.